In the heart of a quaint little town, life moved at a gentle pace. Children played in the sun-dappled streets, while shopkeepers greeted their customers with warm smiles. The air was often filled with laughter and the sweet scent of freshly baked bread wafting from the bakery. Flowers bloomed vibrantly in gardens, and birds chirped merrily from the trees lining the lanes. This charming place, nestled by a sparkling river, seemed to be a picture-perfect dream. But one fateful morning, an unusual fog began to creep over the town. It was thick and heavy, swallowing everything in its path. The once bright day turned dim as a shroud of mystery enveloped familiar homes and storefronts. As townspeople went about their business, worry etched itself across their faces. Whispers floated through the air like smoke, rumors that this fog was conjured by witchcraft. People huddled together, casting nervous glances toward the swirling gray mist that blanketed their beloved town. Old Mrs. Thompson clutched her broomstick tighter, muttering about witches and curses as she passed by the local inn. Even sturdy men who once laughed at such tales began to feel a chill run down their spines. As the fog thickened and shadows danced ominously, fear took hold of many hearts. The peaceful charm of the town had transformed into an atmosphere charged with uncertainty. Townsfolk exchanged fearful looks, wondering what darkness lay hidden within this mysterious fog, and who might rise to confront it. Amidst the growing fear, one figure stood out from the anxious crowd, the river lantern girl. Her name was Lila, and she was known throughout the town for her bright spirit and unwavering courage. Lila had a special connection to the river that flowed nearby. It was her playground, her sanctuary, and where she found inspiration for her beautiful lanterns. Each night, she would light them up, casting a warm glow that danced on the water's surface, guiding lost travelers home. With her heart full of kindness, Lila often shared her lanterns with neighbors during dark times. She believed that light could chase away shadows and fears. As the fog rolled in and panic spread, Lila felt a deep sense of responsibility. The townspeople looked to her for comfort, and she could not ignore their unrest. Determined to bring hope back to her beloved town, Lila gathered her lanterns and set out towards the riverbank. The thick fog wrapped around her like a heavy blanket, but she pressed on, holding her lantern high. The light flickered bravely against the darkness, illuminating the path ahead. As she walked, memories of laughter by the river filled her mind, friends sharing stories under the stars and families gathering for picnics. Lila knew that if anyone could help uncover the truth behind the fog, it was her. With a heart full of determination, she prepared to face whatever lay ahead, ready to guide others through both the mist and their fears. As the fog thickened, its heavy tendrils crept through the town, wrapping around homes and street lamps like an eerie embrace. The once vibrant sounds of children laughing and birds chirping faded into an unsettling silence. It was as if the fog held its breath, waiting for something to happen. Shadows twisted and danced in the mist, leaving townspeople anxious and on edge. Strange occurrences began to unfold that deepened their fears. Pets went missing, seemingly swallowed by the fog, while faint whispers echoed in the night, sending chills down spines. Some claimed to see figures moving just beyond the veil of gray, their shapes bending in unnatural ways. Conversations filled with uncertainty took place in hushed tones, people gathered to share stories of curses and dark magic. "A witch must have cast a spell upon us," grumbled old Mr. Jenkins, his voice shaky with fear as he shook his fist toward the shrouded woods. Nearby, Mrs. Brown nodded solemnly, clutching her shawl tighter around her shoulders. "We should light a fire to scare her away," she suggested, glancing at the frightened faces around her. The atmosphere shifted from one of community joy to collective dread. The town's spirit waned as families locked their doors and drew their curtains tightly closed. A palpable wave of paranoia spread among the townspeople, all convinced that they were at the mercy of a mysterious force lurking within the fog. Whispers of witchcraft filled every corner, leaving Lila even more determined to shine a light on the truth behind the sinister haze enveloping her home. The tension in the town reached a boiling point as fear transformed into anger. The murmurs of witchcraft spread like wildfire, igniting a sense of urgency among the townspeople. One evening, as the fog hung heavy in the air, a group began to gather in the town square, voices rising and fists clenching. Old Mr. Jenkins stood at the front, his face twisted with rage. "Enough is enough," he shouted, rallying the crowd. "This fog is no accident. We need to confront this witch before it takes more from us." His call was met with a chorus of agreement and nods from the surrounding villagers, their faces etched with worry. The crowd swelled, fueled by stories of curses and dark magic whispered from one person to another. Some brandished pitchforks and torches, determined to take action against the unseen threat. "We'll burn her out," cried Mrs. Brown, her face pale but resolute. As night fell, shadows danced around them, amplifying their fears. The flickering torchlight cast eerie shapes on the ground, making every rustle in the fog feel like an omen. Lila watched from a distance, her heart heavy with concern for what this mob might do. She knew that fear could lead even good people down dark paths. With determination swelling within her, Lila realized she had to act quickly. If she didn't intervene soon, they might confront an innocent person or make matters worse. She took a deep breath and stepped forward, ready to calm the storm brewing around her home. As tensions rose in the town, the Marshal stepped forward, his presence commanding and calm. Known for his wisdom, he was a figure respected by many. Clad in a long coat that flapped gently in the evening breeze, he took a moment to observe the scene unfolding before him, angry villagers waving torches and shouting accusations. Now, he called out, raising a hand to silence the crowd. "Let's not lose our heads in fear." The murmurs quieted somewhat as people turned their attention to him. They had always relied on the Marshal to bring a sense of order during troubling times. Yet even he felt a growing pressure to act decisively. "Fear can make us do foolish things," he continued, his voice steady but tinged with concern. "We must not let suspicion overshadow reason. This fog is strange, no doubt, but we must investigate it calmly." His words fell on mixed ears, some nodded in agreement while others remained gripped by panic. Old Mr. Jenkins scoffed loudly, glaring at the Marshal. "Do you honestly believe there isn't a witch hiding in that fog?" he shouted back. The Marshal's heart sank as he realized how far the fear had spread. He understood the fine line between maintaining peace and allowing chaos to take hold. In that moment, he knew he would need to find a way to calm the mob and protect those who might be wrongfully accused, but time was running out. As Lila stepped forward beside him, he felt a flicker of hope that together they might find a way to guide the town back from the brink of danger. As the crowd rumbled around them, Lila felt a surge of determination. She knew that this was not just any fog, there was something peculiar about it that called to her intuition. The growing panic in the townspeople only strengthened her resolve. With a deep breath, she turned to the Marshal, her expression fierce but hopeful. "Marshal," she said, her voice cutting through the chaos, "we can't confront whatever is causing this chaos without understanding it first. The fog might seem threatening, but perhaps it's hiding answers we need." The Marshal looked down at Lila, his brow furrowed with concern mixed with admiration. Her courage sparked something within him, a glimmer of clarity amidst the tumult. "You're right," he replied slowly, realizing he had been so focused on averting danger that he had overlooked the possibility of discovery. Lila raised her lantern high, its soft glow pushing back against the encroaching darkness. "Let's go into the fog together. We can uncover what lies beneath it." Her voice rang with certainty as she stepped forward into the swirling mist, guiding him by both light and hope. With each step they took together, Lila felt emboldened by her connection to the river and the multitude of stories it held. There was magic in those waters, a deep wisdom in nature that couldn't be ignored. As they ventured further into the fog's depths, she mentally prepared herself for anything ahead, believing firmly that within this mystery lay not just danger but also a chance for understanding and peace for her town. As Lila and the Marshal ventured deeper into the fog, a thick silence enveloped them, broken only by the soft crunch of their footsteps on damp ground. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, twisting and turning as if they had a life of their own. The air was cool and carried an eerie chill that made the hairs on their arms stand up. The only comfort came from the warm glow of Lila's lantern, its light flickering like a heartbeat against the oppressive darkness. Suddenly, strange sounds pierced the silence, a rustling that seemed to whisper secrets hidden in the mist. It was as if the fog itself were alive, breathing deeply around them. Lila shivered but tightened her grip on the lantern, letting its light guide them forward. "Stay close," she urged the Marshal, feeling a mixture of fear and exhilaration coursing through her veins. As they continued, faint cries echoed in the distance, almost like the calls of lost animals searching for home. Each sound sent a jolt of anxiety through them, but Lila pressed on, determined to find answers. Her heart raced, yet she recalled stories of bravery told by her grandmother along the riverbanks, tales of facing fears to uncover truths. In that moment, Lila's lantern felt more than just a source of light, it was a beacon of hope amidst uncertainty. Inspired by the warmth radiating from it, she took a deep breath and whispered softly, "We're not alone in this." With resolve swelling within her, she leaned into the darkness ahead, ready to uncover whatever lay in the depths of the fog. As Lila and the Marshal proceeded further into the fog, the atmosphere grew even more surreal. Shadows swirled around them, shifting like dancers in a ghostly ballet. Suddenly, a strange sound pierced the air, unlike anything they had heard before. It was a low, haunting growl that echoed through the mist, making the hairs on the back of Lila's neck stand on end. Just ahead, the lantern's light flickered and danced over what appeared to be a bizarre creature, its form obscured by the fog. Lila gasped as two glowing eyes emerged, staring intently at them. The creature's silhouette morphed, becoming something both beautiful and terrifying, with long, flowing tendrils extending like wisps of smoke. "Stay back," the Marshal warned, instinctively reaching for his sidearm, though he hesitated to use it. The creature twisted its shape again, momentarily looking like a phantom of a lost traveler, only to morph back into an unrecognizable form. "Wait!" Lila exclaimed, raising her lantern higher. "It's not attacking us, it might be lost or trying to communicate." Her voice trembled with fear, but there was also an ember of courage within her. As the lantern illuminated the creature, it paused and seemed to shimmer in response to the warm glow. The air thickened with tension as Lila took a cautious step closer, her heart racing but her resolve stronger than ever. "We can't let fear dictate our actions," she whispered to herself. The creature remained still, as if awaiting their next move, a test of both their bravery and their instincts in this strange world hidden within the fog. As Lila stood before the bizarre creature, she could sense the tension radiating from the Marshal beside her. His brow furrowed, and a tremor ran through his hand as he gripped the hilt of his sidearm. Sensing his unease, Lila took a steadying breath and turned to him with a reassuring smile. "Let's trust it," she said softly, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. "I believe it's trying to show us something. We can't let fear guide our actions." Her unwavering faith seemed to cut through the fog of uncertainty that surrounded them. The Marshal glanced at her, and for a moment, he saw not just a young girl but a brave companion who radiated inner strength. "You really think so?" he asked, surprised by how much her confidence affected him. "Yes. I can feel it," Lila replied, raising her lantern higher. The warm glow illuminated their surroundings and cast gentle shadows around them. As if sensing their trust, the creature shifted subtly, its form softening into something less menacing. Feeling encouraged by Lila's trust in him and the creature, the Marshal relaxed his grip and took a small step forward alongside her. "All right then, we'll face this together." The bond between them strengthened as they navigated this moment of uncertainty, both relying on each other. With Lila's trusting nature bolstering his courage, they moved closer to the creature, ready to discover what lay behind its mysterious facade, and perhaps unlock deeper truths hidden within the fog. As Lila and the Marshal stepped even closer to the creature, a soft glow began to radiate from its form, illuminating the fog around them. To their astonishment, the mist shifted, revealing intricate patterns of bioluminescent plants that pulsed with vibrant colors, casting an enchanting spectacle. The whispers they had heard turned into melodic sounds, harmonizing with the gentle rustling of leaves. Suddenly, the creature transformed once more, settling into a shape that resembled a guardian spirit of the fog, a being that symbolized the harmony between nature and magic. It no longer seemed threatening, instead, it conveyed a sense of ancient wisdom. Lila's heart swelled with understanding as she realized this fog was not an omen of doom but a natural phenomenon, a manifestation of life teeming beneath the surface. "Look," she exclaimed, her voice filled with wonder. "The fog reveals secrets we couldn't see before. It's not witchcraft, it's nature's way of reminding us to look beyond our fears." The Marshal nodded slowly, his apprehension fading as he gazed at the marvel around them. The colors danced in harmony as if inviting everyone in town to embrace this magical spectacle. Inspired by Lila's insight, he envisioned how they could share this revelation with the townspeople. They needed to understand that fear often obscures true beauty and wisdom. As they emerged from the fog, hand in hand, they knew their experience would transform their community's fear into appreciation, turning whispers of witchcraft into stories of wonder to be told for generations to come.